I'm ready for the Mary Ann to have a stroke, and John Vance to have a stroke. Just a whole bunch of them just to have a stroke. Yeah. No.
Because it was spent up.
I thought you give Brad a table.
Sometimes that's just you thinking.
Computer's been acting funny. I called it in, they were like, no, it's fine. It's not fine.
I think my battery will make it to about 9:35.
Oh, you're in that shape. There's nothing you can do.
This one's-
Get you a new battery.
Yeah, this one's so old.
Today.
Short again today.
Uh-huh.
Should be able to save it.
Good morning, everyone. Appreciate everybody coming today. Need to call the meeting to order. We plan to stand for the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. As usual, silence your cell phones. Ms. Settle, do you have a roll call?
Mayor Plummer,
Here.
Commissioner Brooks.
Here.
Commissioner Fields,
Here.
Commissioner Gray.
Here.
Commissioner Galbraith.
Here.
We have a quorum and ready for the transaction of business.
Thank you, ma'am. Matt? turn time
Thank you,
over.
Mayor. Appreciate it. Good morning to everyone. First item on the agenda is item number 4, approved minutes. A, regular session of August 12th, regular meeting of August 12th, 2025. Motion by Commissioner Wallace, second by the mayor. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Item B, we have the approve the minutes of the special meeting of August 22nd, 2025. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Fields, second by Commissioner Brooks, I'm sorry. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Item 5, we don't have any special presentations. Item 6A, we have an ordinance 2025-23, closing portion of Pro Street located at 1475 and 1483 Cypress Street.
Mr. Belcher, these two ordinances really go together. We have a couple in town selling a piece of property when they had a very long ancient title search ran on some of those deeds. It showed up as unclaimed, but perhaps one proposed street and one proposed alley that kind of run into a T through the property. So it came to me, I said, the city, I don't think ever thought those were streets. We certainly haven't used those in streets in the last 100 years, but to clean up any misconception that's going to be not only in this chain of title, but others, we can officially do this as we've done it, half dozen times in the past, just with old land records. This happens. So the first ordinance addresses what you all would know as a shared driveway between the Alverson and the West property at 1483 Cypress and 1475 Cypress. This would close that to the extent anyone thought that might be a public street. And then the second ordinance deals with an alley that runs basically through or between the Alverson property through the Sawicki property, and then borders up with the next one, and then that dead ends into that shared street. So all that's designated on that drawn plat, which is shown as the proposed street and the alley. So to close a public way, there's a couple ways to do it. The simplest one is thankfully the one that all the neighbors have agreed to here, which is we get a signed notarized consent from them authorizing the closure. We attach that with the plat, we attach that to the ordinance, and then you all would pass that. So these are first readings of both of these. We will have all the signed affidavits. I would feel pretty confident by next meeting, and we should be ready for a vote at that time.
We'll take them one at a time.
Yeah, I think when we vote, it will be.
All right.
If that's okay with you all, I think that's enough of an introduction today. The other one is that alley that runs through between among into 1495 Cypress, 1489 Cypress, 1483 Cypress, and 1475 Cypress.
Do I have?
We'll wait till next time.
Okay.
That's just first reading.
Okay. All right.
Let me ask you, the two homeowners, how they split that, or they,
They have a plan for that on the shared driveway. I think they, from what I understand, they will continue to be a shared driveway, and there's a separate agreement that they will execute and presumably record at the county clerk for both, however that property goes down through the years.
right?
All right, anything further on that from the commission? All right. Item 7 is the consent agenda. Would anyone, member of the commission, like to lift any of those items? I do have one note that we want to make for on item I. But does anyone else have anything they'd like to lift up to discuss further or any questions?
I thought about F. Hinkle, I see Ashley's here today, so I didn't know whether she was gonna, give us an update or anything. F deals with the streets.
The street paving?
The
Yeah,
street paving.
and Mike Smith can also, do you have any comments that you'd like to make?
I've been
With
talking
respect
with
to-
Ashley, and possibility is that we may wait till the spring to do the payment, but the numbers that we put today
Are held.
for days. So,
Okay.
because of booking issues, we don't want to go too cold into the fall,
Right.
so. I believe it'd be best if they can't get it before the end of October, that we wait till the spring.
Okay.
Weather comes back up, so.
Okay.
And it's scheduling, that basically scheduling.
Yes,
issue.
with all the rain early in the season, it's pushed us back quite a bit, which now is pretty dry, which is good and bad, but yeah, it just kind of pushes us back a little bit. But if we can get to it, we will. But I just wanted to bring that up, Mike.
Okay, all right. Thanks, Ashley.
Thank you.
Anything else? On item I, lift station, some wastewater, Michael's here, we can talk further, but basically we're rejecting the bids at this point, and the thought is to rebid that. So we had initially got quotes, my understanding is, and those were, over the bid limits, we bid it, and of course, when the bids came back, it was considerably higher than what we anticipated, so we're rejecting those, and in an effort to try to achieve, most bang for a buck, if you will, we're gonna rebid that. Anything further on that, Michael?
No, the only sealed bid that came in was, several $1,000s higher than our lowest quote. So, we're definitely wanting to reject that only sealed bid.
So if there's no other additions or corrections or questions, I would call for a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Motion by the mayor,
I'll second.
second by Commissioner Galbraith. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. The item number 8 on your agenda, read the July financials. And over to Brad.
Let's see here, we'll get to, I think it's page 59 now. Page 55 of the packet, and that's got our cash balances for the general fund. So at the end of July, page 54 is general fund. At the end of July for general fund, we had $9,068,000 in cash for operating funds, compared to $7.5 million for the same time last year in July. And also too, that is up about from 7.6 million or 7.7 million at the end of June. We were, as you'll see in the operating account there, we had 1.8 million at the end of July. We were able to transfer $1 million from the operating account into the savings in the month of August. And we kept that balance pretty well consistent through the month of August as well too. So have pretty good cash flow in and out as far as on the general fund goes. So kind of retaining some good cash collections from occupational taxes or payroll taxes. Restricted funds, really no change in those from month to month. We are starting to spend a little bit on the opioid money, so you'll probably start seeing that decrease here over the next couple months. And that was a agreement entered into with the health department as well. And then moving on to page 55, as far as utility fund cash goes, you see we're at $1 million, just about 1.1 million at the end of July. Looking at last year, we were at 615,000, so up about 350,000 compared to last year. And then also to see pretty good increase from where we were at the end of June of 899,000. So had a really good month as far as collection on utility bills, and I think we transferred about 150,000 into the savings account in the month of August for the utility fund as well too. So moving down into some of our restricted funds, kind of see that increase in the savings / construction fund from about 772,000 to 822. Last year we were right around 575,000, so we put about 300,000 into that account as well. Rest of the accounts are pretty much unchanged. We will have some activity in the bond proceeds account as we're starting to get a little more into some of the construction on the water plant, so we'll start seeing that account come down as well too. And then on page 56, we do have the CD balances. One thing to note, we do have in both the general fund and utility fund, we do have 2 CDs that are maturing. Right now, with where the rates are at, for a long-term CD, what we've been trying to do is to try to keep these things maturing every 3 months. So that would mean that obviously the one that's maturing, we would try to have that mature in 2026. However, the interest rates are starting to come down to right now where CD rates are pretty comparable to what we're earning on our savings account. So we're probably going to let at least the general fund one kind of mature and put that into the savings account, but still kind of on the utility fund one, roll that forward for a couple more months. So we have that kind of either timed with AMI purchase and or some of the bucket trucks that are showing up. So just kind of wanted to point that out for you guys on the CDs, but still have about 3.3 million in CDs in the general fund and 525,000 in utility funds as far as CDs go. And on page 57, have the trailing revenues for the last 5 years. So as you can see from our 4 main revenue sources, we're staying pretty consistent right now year over year. So 9.5 or 9.6 million in cash collections over the previous 12 months. Just a $4,000 increase from where we were at the same time last year. I think as we kind of head into September, October, November, we'll really kind of watch that. I think some of the economic and tariff things will probably start having some impact. Hopefully we're going to stay at the same level, but not see too significant of a decrease in those trailing 12 months. Really, for July, our biggest revenue collection was in our occupational tax or payroll tax, collected just right around $1,030,000 on that. And then also too, the next biggest collection was in the insurance fees, was at $342,000. Still probably expect to collect close to $335,000 to $350,000 in August on the insurance fees. So I think we'll stay pretty consistent with those numbers as well. And then also too, from a business net profit standpoint, we were, kind of down a little from where we were at last year at this time, roughly by about 35,000. So I know there's some deadlines that the IRS has extended through November 3rd for the whole state of Kentucky. So we'll see how that timing kind of plays in to see if we still kind of stay at a level over the next 3 months or 4 months through November on collecting on net profits. And then moving on to the budget to actual reports, you can see on page 63 and 64, we do have the general fund. Actual revenues for the general fund were at $1,638,000. Our expenditures were $937,000 for the month of July, giving us a revenue over expenditures by $701,000. And just to kind of point out again, on page 63, you can kind of see where occupational insurance and business profits are, for the month, and then also compared to the prior month for last year. All of them are kind of down in categories. Like I said, on the insurance fee, we kind of look at that on 2-month history, so we'll see how that kind of looks in August from comparable purposes. But really, from the payroll taxes of $1,029,000 to $1,040,000 for prior year, pretty well consistent. And then on the utility fund side, on page 65, we had total revenues or billings for the month of $1,196,121. Total expenditures are at $1,021,000, giving us revenues over budget of $174,886. And that's pretty consistent with what we transferred into the savings account during the month of August, roughly about $155,000 on the utility fund side. So kind of starting to build up that savings account. Next couple pages, just started kind of playing around with some graphs and charts and those type of things. We'll kind of work on getting these enhanced a little bit better for everybody, but just kind of wanted to start showing some, different trends and everything. Page 68, just kind of want to point out that gives you kind of the difference in general fund revenues from 25, 24, and 23 from a, line graph standpoint. So you can kind of see when the major months are when we're collecting, and, when the lower months and things are, like December, June, September will be a low month as well too, as far as how that charts out. So just wanted to kind of start throwing some different things out there at you. We'll work on getting these a little bit better enhanced and for you guys as we kind of move into the new fiscal year. So that is the financial report for the month of July.
Any questions or comments?
Move to approve the financial report for July.
We have a motion by Commissioner Galbraith, second.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Brooks. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Brad, thank you. Item 9 on the agenda, any reports from outside agencies? I don't see any Allison or anyone here for outside agencies, so on reports or comments from the city staff before Chief Duffy makes his speech. Any comments, Chief? You have anything? I know we did well on the cruiser auction, so that's moving forward in terms of our fleet management, so that's good. This past week,
How many we sell?
was it?
I think we made it around, don't quote me on the exact price, but it was about 45,000, so 7, so what we said 7.
7.
And some of them was, like I said, they were really over, like.
Yeah.
2,000. I think in total, about 45,000.
Are those the white ones? Most of them, the white ones that are out on Legion Drive? Okay, all right.
We talked yesterday about possibly may have another one that's been here in City Hall, so
Okay, thanks.
so that's some good news in terms of recouping on our fleet. So,
Yeah.
Any other comments or anything from city staff? All right, Chief Duffy, you're up.
I'm good, thank you.
I tried to get rid of you 2 weeks ago now. This is your last meeting. So I would just like to say, again, 2 weeks on the job, working with Chief Duffy. Of course, I've worked with Chief Duffy in the past several years, so we go back a long way. But with regret, but it's sort of bittersweet. Chief Duffy is retiring at the end of this month, so I would like to say thank you for your service and service to fire department and into the city, so. Chief, thank you. All right, any comments, Mayor?
No, appreciate you, Chief. Appreciate you.
Mr. Brooks?
I have one thing.
Yes, ma'am.
We still are getting some concerns from citizens about Rumpke's rates.
Okay.
Could you find out how they go about charging residential locations from top to the bottom? Everybody doesn't seem to be paying the same thing each
Okay.
month. And I know that some have the recycling bins and some don't, and this, that, and the other and all that, but there seems to be a big gap in the rates for different households.
Okay, and I don't know if Mike can speak to this, but I will look at that. So is it residential versus, or multifamily versus, single family homes, or just types of residential?
Just, it's mainly, single family homes,
Single family?
but if you wanna check into the
I'll
others,
check
you
into
can.
those. Okay, so there's some
We've
disparity.
asked about this before and we didn't get a clear answer. But there are a lot of people who are in single family homes and they're paying different rates.
Okay,
And they wanna know why Wallace's is higher than mine or
sure,
whatever.
okay, we can look into it.
Lower,
Cheaper.
lower, I'm sorry, lower, I'm sorry, lower, you know, but
Yeah, we'll look
Yeah,
into
okay.
that, absolutely.
Okay.
I'll be glad to, so
Okay.
I'll make a note of that.
that's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Gray?
I too wanted to thank Chief Duffy. So it is bittersweet. It's like a flash. When you get to the end of it, you're like, wow, I did put in all these years public service, and thank you is really not enough, but thanks. On top.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Galbraith?
Chief, thanks.
You would give the speech, I mean, I wrote it
know.
for him and everything.
Well, it's to come, you know it is. It's gonna be a speech at some point, so anyway,
Yeah.
other than that, then I'm good to.
If y'all
I'll go over
don't mind,
that. Sure.
just one little thing I wanted to bring up. I know we've talked about this several months ago in the past, but Hotel Thoroughbred LLC has requested some type of ongoing agreement for use of the parking lot. Mike, I don't know what the official name of that parking lot is. What's the official name of the parking lot? The old Opera House parking lot?
Sixth Street Park.
Okay, there we go. The Sixth Street parking lot that's on Main Street across from
On Sixth Street, across from Main
Secretariat Park, yeah. But this, you all heard a presentation, I guess, several months ago. I think to be more appropriate to have something in writing and bring forward next time is like a municipal order, but I think what the hotel has requested, and Mike can speak to this and Chris can speak to this if they want. Now, we're looking at repaving that lot, maybe a little bit of a redesign in it, but they want a number of dedicated parking spots. I'm familiar, I think Matt's probably familiar with other municipal parking lots, parking garages even, for hotels even. But like this spot is reserved for X, and then, 99 times out of 100, it's never an issue. And I know from speaking with Chris and Daryl and Debbie, when there's special events, everyone understands we all have some flexibility, and we would have that discussion in there as well. But Mike or Chris, anything else you all want to say?
No, I just said, we're opening in March, so I'd love to get that repaid, and then obviously we're willing to put money towards it to help as well.
So it's okay with you all. I just didn't want to surprise everybody with the municipal order next time.
I think one of the main problems we might have with that is enforcement. We've got, what is it called? City club people who come every day.
Mhm.
They have a spot. That's their spot.
Like a church pew. Huh?
So, how are we gonna, that's one of the things that the police are gonna have to work out, how to enforce the spaces, and because there are a group of people who come every day. You can see a couple of trucks and cars and you know where they are. So
Most of them like that yellow no parking zone in front of.
that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Well, I think that's a good point, and I'm sure it's kind of about being a good neighbor and just talking, a little bit of information, communication. And my guess is everybody who wants to go to the hotel might not take a designated hotel spot and
That's
park
true,
across,
but still.
left or right.
Okay. It'll be Myron's problem.
That's all I have. I just wanted to inform y'all now that's coming next.
Okay.
So we have something in writing.
Thank you, Brian. Madam Clerk, did you have anything? Brad, did you have anything?
No, I'm good.
As far as myself is concerned, again, 2 weeks on the job, so I really, again, enjoyed getting back into the swing of things and meeting. I met most of the staff and visited the departments with Mike. Mike's out sick today, but he's certainly been a mentor and very helped to introduce me back to city government. And so I've really enjoyed this first 2 weeks and look forward to many more. And certainly, I'm also working on a written update to you all weekly, so look forward to that.
You're still here, so that's a good sign.
Yeah, absolutely. So.
10 days, I did it for 10 days, I made sure he came in for 10 days. I figure after 2 weeks, he's gonna stay.
Yeah.
So, thank you all very much. Is there anything further to come before? Mayor, I'll go to you. You want to call for adjournment?
Now you can.
Do we have a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Motion by Commissioner Galvin, second by Commissioner Brooks. All in favor?
All right.
We are adjourned. Thank you.